Hi everyone, welcome to Morris & Sons. My name is Somrita Sarkar and it is with the absolute pleasure that we welcome Dedri Uys. So welcome Dedri.
Thank you very
to
much.
Sydney and to Australia.
Thank you, I'm very pleased to be here today. It's a lovely, lovely shop.
I think we all know Dedri through the very famous Sophie's Universe, which is here right behind us.
Ta-da!
Also, I think your website, look at what I made, not just Sophie's Universe, but Charlotte's Universe and all of your patterns, which are very generously free, available for the whole world to follow. And I believe it would not be wrong to say thousands of followers, and it's been made thousands of times, especially Sophie's Universe.
I mean, she's been made loads. Yeah,
yeah, and then loads and loads of books and loads of crochet alongs, and so I could go on and on and on about the tremendous achievements, but I would like to hand it over to you and ask about, where did your journey began? Would you like to share with us what brought you into the whole world of crochet?
yeah. Traditional story. My granny taught me to crochet when I was this big, and she taught me a granny square, and I could do it, and I went, brilliant, I'm never going to do this again. Like, I can do it now, never going to do it again. I think at school we had to, for home ec you had to now and then, but when I was pregnant with my second son, and we wanted to get him something that was his, but we weren't really in a place to buy lots of new things. So I decided to crochet him a blanket, and it was a rainbow blanket in hideous yarn, squeaky acrylic, 5 colors. I bought like a ball a month for 5 months to get enough yarn, and it's more holes than a blanket because I did it with a 1 centimeter hook and double knit, linen stitch. But I remember, because for me it was really special, sitting on my bed cross-legged with this massive belly crocheting, and I remember as my hands were resting on my belly that you kick my arms, and we still have the blanket, and I still to this day, I mean, it's not the prettiest blanket, but it's the one that brings me the most joy. And then I made that, and then I wanted to make them toys, and then I made a puzzle ball, and it was quite popular. And then one day a lady on Ravelry made a comment about the puzzle ball, and she mentioned that her son also loved dinosaurs, and I was like, oh, I could turn it into a dinosaur. So I made a range of puzzle animals, and so I really enjoyed that as well, and that was my first book. I think the thing that drives me is to find something that isn't out there yet, visually or shape-wise, and then do that. That's probably the main driver for me.
Perfect. That's a perfect segue to my secret question.
Oh.
And my secret question is, is it a coincidence that there is Sophie's Universe and Charlotte's Universe? Because there are two very favorite children's books, Sophie's World and Charlotte's Web. And it's kind of Sophie's introduction, little girl in the garden discovering philosophy.
No, it is a coincidence, but I do love both the books. But it does give me a kick knowing that, because and there's a movie Sophie's Choice as well. So I like, it's my own little secret pleasure knowing that Sophie's part of that group and Charlotte's part of the other group. But that's not why I chose the names.
Okay. So lovely coincidence, like coming together.
But then that is also like when you sent me your CV and had a look about the yarning and the stories, and it for me is very much about the stories. So it's not just the pattern I stick meaning to everything, because the more joy I get out of it, the better. And for me, I am very sentimental, too sentimental.
You refer to this book called How Crochet Saved My Life. And a lot of your work features this whole aspect of mindfulness, and I almost think sometimes this repetitive action takes us into this world of almost meditative, therapeutic, healing,
it
calm
does.
and peace, and
It does, but there's like, I think, these 3 pockets of ways that crochet can help you. So you can make something while you're watching TV, that kind of mindless project where you don't have to think at all, and sometimes that's really good when you don't want to think about what you're making. You want to make your mind a little bit quiet, but you also need to be able to think through things. So it's not necessarily actively thinking, but your brain's got loads of space to think while you're doing this low-level thing. And then sometimes your mind's a little bit louder, and you need something more complex. So you need a bit of distraction from that, but it's okay. You're okay, and you're feeling safe. You're not like super sad or anything. It's just And then you make something a bit more complex because you have to focus more, so your brain needs to quiet down. And then you've got something like Sophie, where you can't think about anything else. And so when you have big losses or big frustrations or really big feelings, I tend to grab a project that is so complex that I cannot think about anything else. Like I have to focus on those stitches to the exclusion of all else, and that quietens my mind. So it's different meditations.
Yes.
And I think that's probably why I enjoy the designing so much, especially the complex stuff, because I cannot think about anything else, and my mind, which is always so noisy, goes quiet. It's lovely.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you see this going? Or is it a journey that shapes itself as it goes along?
Yeah, like everything I do, it's. I want to say in a way it happens to me. It's not something that I'm making happen. I just go where it takes me. Like with Sophie, I had no clue. I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue what she would become. She's got a life of her own, and so I get introduced as Sophie's mum, or this is the design of Sophie's, and they don't know anything else I've done. I'm basically just the lucky sod who did Sophie. And some people call me Sophie. They get introduced to me and they, as Dedri, and then they call me Sophie. And there's one lady, she's been calling me Sophie for years, and I don't have the heart to correct. I know who she's talking about.
But I suppose there's a lovely amount of pride in being addressed as, one of your creations, which is,
there is. But also I feel like I'm not deserving of that. I don't know. If I'd have intentionally set out to do this thing, right? And then I'd achieved this thing, then maybe I would feel more pride. I'm proud of the hard work I put in, because I put in hours and hours and hours of my life.
And I think what you were pointing to was the fact, this is something that my classical music teacher in India always says, that a true artist would always say that they had no doership in producing the art. So when you say that, it just happened through me, it's the mark of true art, that when there is no ownership and doership of, I did it, and it's almost like the I disappears in the process of doing it.
It does. When I finished the blanket and the design, I looked at it and I was like, oh, I was so excited, it's beautiful. But then when we started sharing it, and the more people went, oh my God, it's amazing, and even now when they make a fuss, and the bigger the fuss they made, the more I went back and looked at it and went, I don't get it. Like I suppose the less pretty it became to me, because I just couldn't see it. I'm very grateful, immensely grateful. It changed our lives. This one design definitely changed our lives.
I think we would like to end by saying a huge thank you, because not only did it change your life, I believe it changed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives around the planet. From 2016, I think, was when I discovered it, and it did change my life and a lot of my friends' lives. And all my friends having babies where some versions of this were made. And
and they have the photos of the babies, and I appreciate when people share their stories, because I feel extremely privileged to have been a part of so many of them, and people will tell me of, really sad things that they were going through that this helped them process, or amazingly happy things. But then I think how fortunate and blessed am I to have been a part of that without even knowing. I've been a part of their lives, and that's really humbling.
It's truly special. All right, it was so lovely to have you here. Thank you so much.
When I tell you, everybody, we had one in particular in Katoomba, she went berserk. She must have it. She must.
That's the Sophie's Universe. Big thank you.
Very good.
Your shop is lovely.
Thank you.
It's a lovely style.
Thank
Lovely.
you.
All the colours
We
everywhere,
love
the
it.
woodwork.
Yes. And people love it, and we want
I know you
more
want it, yeah.
and more. People to love.